So we'll be continuously tracking that story, but let's now take our focus on what is happening in the Gaza Strip, where Israel has said that 11 more hostages will be released in the Gaza Strip, and they have now arrived safely. The move has come hours after the announcement that a truce between Israel and Hamas has now been extended by another 2 days, opening the way for more releases. Now, shortly after the arrival of the hostages was confirmed, the Israeli prison authorities said that 33 Palestinians who had been incarcerated, who had been languishing in Palestinian prisons, had been released. Many of these Palestinians who've been in Israeli prisons, remember, are teenagers, not yet 18 years of age. They are minors and they had been incarcerated in Israeli prisons for a pretty long time. The freed Israelis some of them are dual nationals from France, Germany and Argentina, according to Qatar, which has helped in the mediation of this deal. Now, most Gaza residents have been displaced and the whole territory is short on essential supplies such as food, water and medical supplies. The chief of the United Nations has hailed these developments, but he's also said that this is not enough and more needs to be done.
It's a glimpse of hope and humanity in the middle of the darkness of war. And I strongly hope that this will enable us to increase even more the humanitarian aid to the people in Gaza that is suffering so much, knowing that even with that additional amount of time, it will be impossible to satisfy all the dramatic needs of the population in Gaza.
The German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock welcomed the release of the hostages, including the 2 teenagers. The American Secretary of State Anthony Blinken will now be paying his 3rd shuttle diplomacy to West Asia this week. A senior has said that the top U.S. diplomat will be meeting with the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu in Tel Aviv and also with the Palestinian Authority's President Mahmoud Abbas in Ramallah. Now, Qatar, with the support of the United States and Egypt, has been engaged in intense negotiations to establish and to prolong the truce in Gaza. Now, Hamas, which runs Gaza, triggered this war when it carried out the attack on the 7th of October last month, said that it was drawing up a new list of hostages for release. Now, the White House has welcomed the agreement to extend the truce. Now, here's what the U.S. National Security Council spokesperson has had to say on this matter.
This humanitarian pause has already brought a halt to the fighting, together with a surge of humanitarian assistance. We would, of course, hope to see the pause extended further, and that will depend upon Hamas continuing to release hostages.
But Joseph Borrell, EU's top foreign policy official, had called for the pause to be prolonged to make it sustainable while working for a political solution. The tearful reunions of families and hostages have brought relief from images of civilian death and suffering in this war that has now dragged on for well over 50 days.
No, we are not going.
The report suggests that Hamas chief Yahya Sinwar in fact spoke with the Israeli hostages as they were held underground inside of the Gaza Strip following their abduction on the 7th of October. Now, according to Channel 12, Sinwar spoke to the hostages in near accentless Hebrew in a bid to reassure them after they were dragged inside of Gaza. He reportedly said, and I quote here, "Hello, I am Yahya Sinwar. You are the most protected here. Nothing will happen to you." And that's exactly the manner in which these Israeli hostages are now being released, one by one. And our correspondent Jody Cohen has been tracking the story very closely for us, and she sent us this report from the Ichilov Medical Center in Tel Aviv. Listen in.
I'm at Ichilov Medical Center, where the 9 child hostages and 2 mothers released last night were brought for medical treatment, including 34-year-old Sharon Cuneo and her 3-year-old twins Emma and Yuli. Their father David was not released, and it's not clear how much the families here will be able to say. That's because they all have family members still kept in captivity in Gaza, and there is huge concern for their welfare. Doctors here have told us that the hostages here are in stable medical condition. Psychologically, they have obviously been through a horrendous trauma over the past more than 7 weeks held in captivity in Gaza, and they will need ongoing psychological support. The hostages here all come from kibbutz near Oz, which is a very tight-knit community where over 1/4 of the community was abducted or murdered in Hamas's 7th of October attack. And they'll be hoping that more of the 49 remaining hostages from their kibbutz will be released as part of the 2-day extension that has been announced. This is Jodie Cohen for WION World as One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.